We will be tempted to say, I absolutely should live my life pursuing the things that really matter and that make a big time difference to me and to others. And this seems, of course, on the surface to all be so easy. But there are these hidden obstacles. We're going to make sure that we look at these right now so that as we are focusing on what we are going to pursue for our passions, we do not miss these, and we are ready to get them squarely in our focus. Initially, there are quite a few reasons why people do not pursue their passion. So you can't just ignore these things and say, well, just pursue a passion. Our statistics tell 77% of the people can't identify a passion. And of those 23% that do identify it, well, why aren't they all pursuing a passion then? Why isn't everybody doing it? I believe these are the reasons why those that actually do understand what their passion is and can identify it, they don't do it. That perhaps you went after something at some point and it just did not work out for you. Perhaps you became confused because you are one of these people. I call it's a multi-passionate person. And this is someone that we call a scanner. Someone who is passionate about one thing, and then they're passionate about another thing, and then another thing, and another thing. So maybe they have 3, 4, 5 things that they're all very passionate about, and they just don't know which one to really pursue. Perhaps you had this idea, this passion idea, and you shared it with somebody, or maybe some friends or family, and you got laughed at, or you were just told, you got to grow up or think responsibly. Or you even think that your own idea just seems like maybe it's too big or too silly, or maybe you're just having trouble organizing your own thoughts. Or maybe it's just you sit back sometimes and you think what a great idea is, and then other times you sit back and you think, this is just outrageous, this is crazy. And sometimes you think that perhaps you just want something you shouldn't really want. A life that you love, a business that you love, pursuing a passion, living your life's dreams, that's just not the kind of thing you should be doing. You should be much more focused on a job, security, and doing a thing that you don't love, but that's part of life, right? You go to work, you collect your paycheck, and you do that for 40 or 50 years, and then you get to go on to the thing that you love to do once you're 65 or 70 or whatever. So most people, we know this. They're just not going to follow their passion. Say 77% don't know them, 23% do. But even once they do know their passions, then why aren't they following these passions? Well, if you don't want to be like someone, you cannot listen to them. And understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that you don't respect somebody's opinion. I'm not saying you don't respect who they are, what they're about, things that they've accomplished in their lives. It isn't describing that at all. It's just saying very specifically, I love my parents. I love my parents. They have taught me everything. I owe them nothing but the deepest gratitude because of who I am and what I've become based on how they've raised me. In the past, we have had discussions about finances and about how to earn a living and what kind of a job I should have done. This is going back sometimes 10 years ago and plus. But at the time, I wanted to do really big things. I wanted to do a big business. So I couldn't listen to them on financial matters. My parents did fine, but they were both educators. They weren't entrepreneurs. They didn't go out and make millions of dollars. They were both educators. So I loved them and I listened to a lot of their guidance, but when it came to being financially responsible for things I wanted to do that they had never done, I could not listen to them on financial matters. I have friends that make really good money. They make $200,000, $300,000 a year. This is great money. But the thing is, I don't want to work 60 hours a week. And they don't even like their job. They can't wait to get off. They can't wait to be done for kind of a day or day and a half until they have to start getting into their 300 emails on Sunday night. So again, I listen to a lot of things they have to say on vacations and friendship and investment and cars and looking at homes, maybe skiing or golf. But when it comes to a job and how to work, I cannot listen to them based on that measure. So perhaps you haven't identified the passion right now that is best for you because you get frustrated with all of the ideas you have. Any polling we've done, any surveys we do, this comes up again and again and again as one of the number one reasons. The other one that comes up all the time is number one or number two, is that you're a multi-passionate person. You have a passion for music, a passion for golf, a passion for Harley Davidsons, a passion for wine, a passion for vacations. You love these things. So how do you choose which one is the business? We're going to show you in a little bit here. You're not sure if it's a business idea or just something that you enjoy doing. And we're going to show you here coming up in a video how all this is really is this is just a leap ahead. And what I mean by leap ahead is our brains do this all the time is we begin to conclude something and we begin to make a judgment rather than just observing something. Just looking at something as being a business idea and saying, oh, is this a passion? Is this something I love? Well, you look at it and you do a jump ahead. Oh, I love to play guitar, but I can never make money doing that. Well, that's a jump ahead. You've just leapt forward into, well, I love to play the guitar, but I can never make money doing it. So we're not going to do a leap ahead on these. And there's also the one that comes up repeatedly is this: you either feel rich or you just feel robbed because of all of the things you enjoy, but you don't really love any of them more deeply than the other. You like a bunch of things, but you don't know if you could just put your finger on one and say, that's my passion. That's the deepest one. And all of the rest of these, sure, yeah, I like them too. So if we're constantly scanning, a scanner is someone that so oftentimes, and by the way, I was a scanner and probably still am a scanner for a huge part of my life, all my life. But you're constantly scanning, which means that you get really, really excited about something and you wind up running around and telling everybody about it, and you just go headfirst into it, and you just learn everything you can about it, and you learn and you learn and you go and you go and you go, and then eventually you wind up losing interest in it because another shining object gets your attention, and then you start to scan and you start to get excited about that, and then you start telling everybody about it, and you start learning everything you can about it, and then something else gets your interest, and then you go to the next thing. A big part of the reason that I found why I was a scanner for business and why other people say that they're scanners for businesses is that it's a little bit of this jump ahead, but it's in thinking on, okay, I love this, I love it, but then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, this voice has convinced you somehow, and usually it's just in your own head, that maybe this isn't the perfect idea, not the perfect passion, not the perfect interest, not the perfect business. There are no perfect ideas. We've touched on this in the earlier videos, but there is no perfect ideas. So we're not going to focus on perfection. We're going to focus on good, solid ideas that are acted upon in big, consistent ways. Those do exist. And just keep in mind that people that do something that they love, they earn on average 43% more than someone who doesn't love what they do. And this is in a job-related field. One has to imagine that this applies directly into entrepreneurial. If you are doing the thing that you just know how to do, because maybe you've already done it for a few years, maybe you went to school to do it, maybe you've had a career of 10 or 20 or 30 years, so it's the thing you know how to do, so you just create a business doing it, you're going to earn a set amount. But you will earn 43% more on average if you are passionate about this thing and you love doing it.